Next component of cytoplasm which we have to discuss is cell organelles. Cell organelles are tiny structures scattered around the cytoplasm and performs various different functions of their respective roles. Every cell organelle performs its own function. That is why division of labor occurs inside the cell beta. Why? Because the works are differentiated and divided into each and every cell organelle respectively. That is why division of labor exists in the cell itself. जो काम है वो डिवाइड कर दिया गया है बच्चों सेल में. कौन कर रहा है उस काम को डिवाइड? Cell organelles. So these are the small structures present around the scattered around the cytoplasm and performs its own specific functions. Now, what functions do they serve? Do they perform? First is synthesize substances. They produce substances, they produce new substances. Like ribosomes produce proteins. That is why ribosomes are referred as protein factories of the cells. Golgi apparatus produce vesicles that helps in secretion, ingestion and packaging of materials. Second is to secrete cell secretions. Secrete means to release. Secretions means कोई भी material जो बाहर जाए. So they secrete cell secretions, like they secrete proteins out of the cell. Which organelle does that? Golgi apparatus secretes the protein which needs to be outside of the cell. Certain proteins which are formed in cell must be go out of the cell. कुछ प्रोटीन जो सेल में बन रहे हैं वो सेल के बाहर जाने चाहिए, तो उन्हें सिक्रीट करने का काम कौन करता है? सेल ऑर्गेनेल्स. Metabolic activities are occurring inside the cell. During the metabolic activities, waste products are generated. For example, when we oxidize the food, oxidize the glucose, then carbon dioxide gas is produced. That carbon dioxide must be excluded out from the cell. So that secretions are to be done by cell organelles. Next, digestion. Breakdown of complex material into the simple soluble material is known as digestion. The complex insoluble substances are broken down into simple soluble substances, that is known as digestion. And that breakdown is also occur inside those cell organelles. Like cytoplasm has a mitochondria, and mitochondria helps in the digestion. Lysosomes, they helps in the digestion of complex molecules. They also helps in the digestion or breakdown of various microbes entering inside the cell. The last one is generation of energy. We'll discuss that mitochondria is known as powerhouse of the cell. Why? Cell require a specific form of energy, that is ATP. Adenosine stands for A triphosphate. So adenosine triphosphate is known as energy currency of the cell. As bache, you know that every country has its own currency. Like USA has dollars, US dollars, Australian has Australian dollars, the dirham are present or as a currency of Dubai. Likewise, Indian has rupees. Just like that, cell has its own energy currency. सेल की भी एक अपनी एनर्जी मॉलिक्यूल है बच्चे जिससे वो एनर्जी ऑब्टेन करेगी, एंड दैट इज एटीपी, एडिनोसिन ट्राइफॉस्फेट. दिस इज एनर्जी करेंसी ऑफ द सेल, द मॉलिक्यूल, द ओनली मॉलिक्यूल व्हिच कैन प्रोवाइड एनर्जी टू द सेल बेटा. सो दिस एटीपी is produced by the food, produced by the glucose, by the oxidation of glucose, and that occurs inside the cell organelles, which is mitochondria. We'll discuss it in detail. So these are the functions performed by the cell organelles, that is they synthesize or produce new substances, they perform digestion, they generate energy, currency of the cell obviously. Next, they helps in the secretion of the various material outside the cell, as well as they helps in the intake of material inside the cell. Hello children, in this video we will discuss the first cell organelle, that is endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum was discovered by Thomson and Potter in 1945. It was named as endoplasmic reticulum ER, short form as ER, by Potter. They both independently discovered that cell organelle. This cell organelle is a fluid-filled cavity present inside the cell and almost covering it. What this means, beta? Let us suppose this is a cell I am representing here. At the center there is a nucleus. The endoplasmic reticulum, starts from nuclear membrane and ends up to the cell membrane. So it's sort of a framework of a cell. It is a fluid-filled cavity present inside the cell which almost fills up the cytoplasm, which almost fills up the whole cell. At one end, endoplasmic reticulum is connected to nucleus, and on the other end it is connected to the cell membrane. एक एंड पर ये किसे कनेक्टेड होता है, न्यूक्लियस को, और दूसरे एंड पर किसे कनेक्टेड है, मेम्ब्रेन को. This endoplasmic reticulum is made up of three kinds of structures. It is formed by three kinds of structure. It is found in the in the cell in three forms. The first one is cisternae. Cisternae are long rod-like structures. These are fluid-filled. Which fluid is filled in between them. They join together, they combine together, they mingled up and form endoplasmic reticulums. Next is vesicles. As its name indicates, vesicles are oval shape, round, spherical shape. These will constitute the endoplasmic reticulum. And the last one is tubules. As its name indicates, they are tube-like. Fine, long tube-like structures. All of these are fluid-filled. They are not empty. They are fluid-filled structure. They will constitute together and form endoplasmic reticulum. Then, these endoplasmic reticulum are of two types as of their appearance and their functions. The first one is rough endoplasmic reticulum. Why it is referred as rough? Because its surface appears rough. And the other one is smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Why? Its surface appears smooth. So first difference is, why it is rough? Because ribosomes are present. Whereas in smooth, ribosomes are absent. That is why its surface is smooth, bache. Small tiny granular structures are present on the rough endoplasmic reticulum. That is why it is also referred as granular endoplasmic reticulum. Granular means danedar. And those granular structures which are present on the rough endoplasmic reticulum are ribosomes. Whereas smooth endoplasmic reticulum is devoid of these granular structure named as ribosomes. Next, function. Rough endoplasmic reticulum synthesize proteins. As it has ribosomes, and ribosomes are protein factories of the cells, whereas smooth endoplasmic reticulum forms lipid. It helps in lipid synthesis. The question arises, what are lipids? Lipids are certain fat molecules, bache. They are oil molecules which are present inside the cell and required for various kind of activities. So these are fat molecules, lipid molecules, bache. These are synthesized by smooth endoplasmic reticulum inside the cell. Rough endoplasmic reticulum do not have any detoxifying enzymes. Now the question arises, what is detoxifying? De means removal and toxic means poisonous. The conversion of poisonous substances into non-poisonous one is known as detoxification. Rough endoplasmic reticulum do not have any kind of detoxifying enzymes, whereas smooth endoplasmic reticulum has detoxifying enzymes. So in our body, liver performs the function of detoxification. Whatsoever salts we are eating, some salts will collect together in our body and form poisonous substances. Those poisonous substances are converted into non-poisonous one. That is, detoxification is done inside our bodies by liver. So our liver cells contain more smooth endoplasmic reticulum. तो लिवर सेल्स में कौन सा ऑर्गेनेल ज्यादा है? स्मूथ एंडोप्लाज्मिक रेटिकुलम. क्यों? ताकि लिवर सेल्स प्रॉपर डिटॉक्सिफिकेशन परफॉर्म कर सके. As detoxification required certain detoxifying enzymes, and those enzymes are present in smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Rough endoplasmic reticulum is synthesized by, or may be formed by nuclear membrane, whereas smooth endoplasmic reticulum is prepared by rough endoplasmic reticulum. How? Rough endoplasmic reticulum has ribosomes over it. These ribosomes are removed on their own. These ribosomes become freed. The will start to float freely in the cytoplasm, and SCR is formed. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum is formed by that. Next, smooth endoplasmic reticulum release certain vesicles. ये कुछ वेसिकल रिलीज करता है बेटा, and those vesicles will join together to form Golgi apparatus. वो वेसिकल फिर आगे चलकर सेल में कोई दूसरी जगह क्या बनाएंगे? एक नया सेल ऑर्गेनेल बनाएंगे, Golgi apparatus. We will discuss it in detail. That Golgi apparatus again further release vesicles. And those vesicles will form or heal cell membrane. If cell membrane somehow get ruptured, that healing is done by Golgi apparatus. How? RER remove ribosomes and form SCR. SCR release vesicles. Those vesicles will form Golgi apparatus. Golgi apparatus again release its own vesicles which contain lipids and proteins, and those vesicles will heal or form the cell membrane. And this healing or formation of cell membrane from the lipids is known as membrane biogenesis. A very, very important question. What is membrane biogenesis? The formation or healing of cell membrane by the release of lipids and proteins by smooth endoplasmic reticulum and rough endoplasmic reticulum respectively is known as membrane biogenesis. As rough endoplasmic reticulum synthesize proteins and smooth endoplasmic reticulum release lipids. So these lipids and proteins constitute together and form plasma membrane, cell membrane. This is known as membrane biogenesis. So along with these differences, we have discussed the functions of endoplasmic reticulum. First, it synthesizes lipids and protein, SCR and RER respectively, to form cell membrane. Second, it released the formation of Golgi apparatus. Golgi apparatus is formed by the endoplasmic reticulum. Next, smooth endoplasmic reticulum also forms, or Golgi apparatus also form lysosomes, another cell organ that is also formed by endoplasmic reticulum. Third one, detoxification. The endoplasmic reticulum, especially the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, performs the detoxification inside the cells. That is, it converts the poisonous substances into non-poisonous one. So these are the functions and the types of endoplasmic reticulum. Second cell organelle to be discussed is ribosomes. Ribosomes were first discovered in 1953 by two scientists, Robinson and Brown, in plant cell. Then later, after 2 years, in 1955, another scientist named as Pallid discovered the ribosomes in animal cell. The term given by the Pallid in 1955, earlier they were referred as granules only, but then Pallid just gave them a specific term when he discovered it in animal cell, and that term is ribosomes. Ribosomes are dense structures. They are spherical structures. गोल होते हैं बच्चे. Present in two forms in cytoplasm. One in attached form, that is attached to endoplasmic reticulum. That is why endoplasmic reticulum is known as rough endoplasmic reticulum. That is attached form. जुड़े हुए हैं. And the other one is they are formed in free form. They are freely roaming in the cytoplasm, and those are referred as free ribosomes. Those are also released by the endoplasmic reticulum. That rough endoplasmic reticulum will become smooth. So that is their existence in two forms. One is attached form with the endoplasmic reticulum or the surface of endoplasmic reticulum. Another one is free form in the cytoplasm. Next, the cell organelle, that is ribosome, do not have any membrane. They are membraneless cell organelle. The only cell organelle which is not membrane bound is ribosomes. Why? Because it does not have lipids, and for the membrane formation, lipids are necessary. The cell membrane or the membrane of organelles is made up of lipids and proteins. Proteins are formed by ribosomes itself, but it does not have lipids, the first form, first structure. So in the absence of lipid, there is no membrane. So they are without membranous cell organelles. They do not have any cell membrane, or you can say any membrane. Next, these are the smallest cell organelle. They are the smallest cell organelles. These are formed in the nucleolus inside the nucleus. Next one, their function, a very important one. They form proteins inside the cell from amino acids, as the amino acids are the monomers of proteins. So, as proteins are formed inside the ribosomes, so ribosomes are also given a name, that is a protein factories of the cell. So if someone asks you what are the protein factories of a cell, then answer would be ribosomes. Which cell organelle do not have any cell membrane, that is ribosomes. Which organelle is the smallest inside the cell, that is also ribosomes.